I'm going to list a couple of our brands and products, and I'd like you to hold your hand up if you've heard of them, and keep your hand up. Air Hogs, Bakugan, Meccano, Tech Deck, Zoomer, Flutter by Fairy. Wow. You can take your hands down. 90% of you know our products. You've either played with them or you know our brands. Thanks. Thanks for being a great customer. So this is the complete list of Spin Master's global brands today. Spin Master, we're a private company. We are about $800 million in sales, over 950 employees around the world, best in class, world class. But most importantly, Spin Master is the most innovative children's consumer product company in the world. And recently, in the last couple of years, as Laura mentioned, our entertainment division has really taken off with shows like Paw Patrol and Bakugan, and we've recently added digital gaming. Now what I'd like you to do is raise your hand if you've heard of Earth Buddy. Hands up. I see one hand over there. So, well, you know, Earth Buddy was our humble beginnings. 20 years ago, when we started Spin Master, we started the company with $6,000, $7,000. We had this entrepreneurial spirit, this desire. We had a mindset of fearless, not afraid to make mistakes, tenacity, piss and vinegar, whatever it takes, this entrepreneurial spirit. And when we started the company, that picture there, that's the Earth Buddy at Roots. And I drove the product in my car, in my VW Golf after university. I was the delivery guy. And not only was I the delivery person, but we started the company in my partner Renen's mother's kitchen. Take a look here. This was our product development. This is how we started the company. Incredibly humble beginnings. So what I'd like to do today is I want to share with you what were the three things that really enabled me to help the company have the success it's had today. What were those three things that has given Spin Master the global success today after 20 years that we have? Those three things are self-awareness, influence, and partnerships. So let's start by talking about self-awareness. What is it? What are the benefits of self-awareness? And I'm going to take you through some tools, some really neat tools for you to discover your skills and your self-awareness. So first, what is self-awareness? Well, the most important words are clear and honest. You need to be so clear and honest with yourself on what is really your personality. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your emotions? What are your beliefs? What are your true motivations? Your attitude? How do people perceive you? Do you know how people perceive you? When you think of self-awareness, you're so tied into a term that as you get into the marketplace, you're going to be starting to hear so much about emotional intelligence. And as Laura mentioned, it's not about when you're at school and you get grades on math and English, you don't get grades on your EQ, your emotional intelligence. And self-awareness and emotional intelligence are so directly linked to each other. Here's a great quote from a great author from the Harvard Business Review. Self-awareness. There is one quality that trumps all, evident in every great entrepreneur, manager, and leader. That quality is self-awareness. The best thing leaders can do to improve their effectiveness is to become aware of what motivates them and their decision making. So let's talk about the benefits of self-awareness and why it is the underpinning to absolutely every single part of leadership. So the benefits are, firstly, when you're with a group of people and you're working, whether it's profit or non-for-profit, you're in the heat of things, and you need to figure out how to respond. Your self-awareness will guide you how to respond to situations. It will give you so much information that you're receiving and will improve your ability to respond. Secondly, heightened self-awareness will help you with your decision making. For example, you over there, you want to start a business, and you need to decide, do you have a partner or do you start it on your own? Heightened self-awareness will guide you to make that decision with the highest batting average. Because, like, for example, when I started Spin Master, I knew that I needed partners who had great product sense, because I'm not very good at product. People laugh at me at the company when I talk about what's going to be the next big hit. That's not my area. So I was self-aware, and that's how I knew I needed to find partners like Benny and Renan. So self-awareness, right as you get out there in the workforce, is going to be so critical for you. The other thing is, self-awareness takes out so much grind during the day. Like, you're at work, and going back to my last example, is when we started Spin Master, if I was sitting there in sales, in model reviews and concept reviews and product meetings, and if I kept inserting my opinion strongly, it would frustrate others who didn't feel like I had good product sense, and it would cause friction and grind. There's so much grind in the day, and people who have heightened self-awareness, they reduce a lot of the grind, and your days are so much more fun. Another good example is the benefit of high self-awareness is you get to defer things. Like, for example, if someone asks you a question and says to you in the office, well, tell me about, which is the best accounting system to put? Should we put in QuickBooks, SAP? And you say to them, well, I'm not the best person to answer that. Why don't you ask Jack? Being self-aware, you get to deflect things, and when you deflect them, you gain so much respect from others by letting them know, I'm not the best person, I'm okay at it, but you're better off to speak to someone else. High self-awareness, okay, it will help you get to what I call as the hoop. When you're a kid, your parents, they praise you on your effort. When you get out into the real world, it's about results. It's about delivering the results. And if you want to get to the hoop and deliver the results, high self-awareness is going to improve your ability to get to the hoop. And lastly, and as an entrepreneur, this is such a key part, is people who have high self-awareness, they have a simple roadmap on how to prioritize their time. All you hear from your parents and the people around you is busy, 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 busy. Well, it's not really about how busy you are. It's about how you prioritize your time. I know when I'm at Spin Master every day, if I spend my time in my unique ability influencing people, then I'm adding the highest value added to the company. If I'm spending my time doing analytics at Spin Master, that's the wrong priority for the company, and I'm not putting into the organization the highest value add. There's a great book called Good to Great from Jim Collins, and he says it's not about your to-do list; it's about your to-don't list. Now let's take a little look at self-awareness here. Look at this. Take a closer look at it. What do you see? What do you see over there? Yeah. Yeah, well, most people don't. Well, you're very aware. When you look at this, okay, most people they don't see this face over there. Most people, they see a bunch of beans. So when you take a closer look, now that I've told you that there's a face, you have become aware of that. And the key question is, now you're made aware, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with this information as now you've got this awareness? So let's spend some time talking to you about tools and how do all of you become self-aware. And self-awareness is a journey, and there's all matters of degree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick you off on this journey and heighten. I'm going to give you some tools today that's going to heighten your degree of self-awareness. And it all starts with an open mind, an open heart, and open will. A real, genuine desire to just get feedback, to invite feedback, and a genuine desire to do better. And people who get comfortable with being uncomfortable allows you to evolve. You know, last summer, we had a summer intern at Spin Master, and his name was Luke. At the end of the summer, I said, Luke, how was your experience at Spin Master? And he said, Anton, and I could tell by looking into his eyes, I could tell the genuineness. He said, I'd love to know how I did. I'd love to get some honest feedback from you, from the person I reported to. How did I do at Spin Master? And I could tell Luke was so genuine. I could tell that he was really inviting feedback. And I could tell that he was comfortable, and he wasn't feeling threatened. People who feel threatened, they block the ability to receive all the information and get all this awareness. So you're excited about becoming self-aware. You're going to try to become more open-minded and invite feedback. Where do you start? Well, a lot of you've got uncles, you've got cousins, mom and dad, really close friends. What you should do is pick a minimum of 5 people that you could sit down with them and say, listen, I want to ask you a couple questions. There's absolutely no right or wrong. I'm going to take a couple notes. Tell me, what do you think I'm better at than everyone else? Ask that to your mom. Ask it to your aunt. Try to find a consistent theme of what is your unique ability? What's the one thing that you do better than everyone else? And when you're asking them these questions, probe. Say, well, tell me a little story. Can you give me an example? Get some texture. Write it all down. You don't have to respond. And then look for these themes. The things that come out of there are going to give you self-awareness. The other thing is think about when you've done something with total ease and it was so natural to you. Like think about when you were cooking, Mr. Chef over here, right? When you were cooking, it probably came to such ease. And you're probably a great chef. I haven't eaten your food yet, though. So when you've done something with great ease, that probably tells you about what you're so natural at and what your strengths are. And the other things, think about the things that have been difficult for you. You know, who wants to spend their whole life working on your weaknesses and die with strong weaknesses? Do any of you want to do that? Like every day, just work on your weaknesses? What about waking up in the morning and say, I want to spend all my day in my unique ability. I want to spend 10,000 hours, okay, playing the piano. I'm the best musician. And so that you could achieve greatness and become a genius. You know, when I started Spin Master, after 2 years in business, I was like 23 years old. I did something called a 360. You know, a 360, that's what they do in great companies. They give you anonymous feedback. People fill it out. 8 to 10 people go onto a computer, and they grade you on all your soft stuff, your communication skills and everything. It was a really, it was a bit of a scary, eye-opening moment for me. When I was 23 years old, and I thought I was ready to conquer the world, and I received my 360, and I looked at it, and I got a 5.8 out of 10 on my listening skills. And I was like, it was a sad moment, because I said to myself, you know, if I don't improve my listening skills, I'm not the right CEO for Spin Master. And if you go back to that, I decided that day that I was going to improve my listening skills. And today, my listening skills are close to an 8 out of 10 on my last 360. And that's what I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to decide which are the things that are important to you, and some of the things that you learn about yourself, you might not want to change, and that's okay. Like, for example, my partner, Benny, when he got his feedback, it was clear that he shouldn't manage anyone. And you know what he said to me? Anton, the whole company can report to you. You take care of all the aspects of the people. I'm going to focus on the creative. I'm going to do all the product stuff in the business. So he decided from his 360, okay, not to put much time in trying to improve that. So now you are self-aware. You are ready to drive into the second key tool, which is influence. What is influence? Influence is knowing the heart of the person you wish to influence and ordering your words so they act. I mean, you can all read the second part. The part I love the most about the second part is the last words when they don't have to. When you get out into the real world, you're going to need to influence people when they don't have to listen to you and they don't have to act. I'm going to share with you 5 tools today that are going to give you some tips on how to influence people. So, first one is do your homework. All right? If you're going to meet with someone and you want to influence them, go on the internet and learn as much as you can about them. Study their hobbies, their habits, read as much as you can about the person so you can have this information to be able to influence them. I spend a lot of time now looking to buy companies. And one of the things I do is I try to pick people up at the airport so I can really get to know their personality. And that drive from the airport to the office, I can find out more about them so that when I need to influence them, I'm ready to go and I've got a lot more information. You know, I always know when people come into my office and they start having small talk with me about being born in South Africa or about loving playing tennis, I know they've taken time to do research on me, and it says something about them, and it gives them something to start some small talk and just get the conversation going. The second tool for influencing is questions. I had this coach named Doug, and Doug said to me, he said, Anton, the person who's asking questions is in control. If you want to control a meeting, ask questions. Now, think what the questions does is a couple things. Firstly, when you're asking questions, it starts to give you information early on in a meeting so you can figure out how to move and how to adapt in that meeting. The other thing is great questions, okay, allow you to be able to find out more about the person. I'm a little tight on time here, so I'm going to skip. The other tips on influencing is, for you, a big part is you got to make sure that you go face-to-face. With all LinkedIn and social network, in your age, don't just email people. Try to go face-to-face and shake hands, and that's a great way to influence people. Lastly, I want to talk to you about partnerships. Spin Master, we are the greatest example of partnerships and the power of partnerships and how partnerships transform things. When Deloitte came to Spin Master 10 years ago and said, we want to write a book on Canada's best, they spent a week in our office. And after a week, they said, we're going to write a chapter about how Spin Master partners with others. You are the best example, and your success is all from your partnerships. So you've got the self-awareness, you now know how to influence people, and you're ready to form some great partnerships. These are my partners, Renan and Ben. And so on partnerships, when you think about partners, you want to find partners who have totally opposite skills, opposite personality. As you know, people joke at Spin Master when they meet the three of us how opposite we are. You want all these opposites, but what you really need is you need alignment and commonality on your values and your end goal. And that's what you should be looking for partners. The other thing is, when you think about finding a partner, ask yourself a question. Do you want to spend a whole weekend with this person? Would it be fun? Would it be great? How would you feel if you had to spend a 15-hour flight sitting beside this person? That gives you an idea, do you want to partner with them? The other aspect of partnering, and it goes back to self-awareness, is an open mind, an open heart, and an open will. When you're so open and you're looking for a partner, you're able to see their vantage point, right? So being totally open-minded, and you fly to Japan and you meet with Sega to try to partner with Bakugan, you get to really see their expertise. You find out so much about them, and you can improve your ability to make good decisions by being open-minded. The other thing, like the example on Bakugan, is when you pick a partner, look at their track record, right? Look at, when you pick a horse, okay, for a race, you want to look at their track record. We picked partners for Bakugan who had the most incredible track record in Japanese anime. It was proven. It was factual. Pick partners, okay, pick partners who have a great track record. And the one thing we've done great at Spin Master is punch above your weight. Pick partners like who you'd just be dreaming to have this marriage with, and align your interests with them. Figure out a way when you find a partner to financially align your interests with them, and align your interests both financially and, okay, based out of respect. So these are our partners in Japan. And so in summary, I am so excited for all of you to go out to the marketplace, and it'll be really fun to hear some stories from you 20 years from now and hear about how you were able to use self-awareness, influence, and partnerships to transform your career and to speed up your ability to achieve greatness. One of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to find the best books in the world that can give you more insight on self-awareness, influence, and partnerships. There's a handout for you today. At the break, there's going to be a piece of paper that you can put in your pocket. And just pick 2 of these books to read. And because there's so much content out there. There are experts on self-awareness, influence, and partnerships way more than myself. And I'm really excited for you to pick a couple of the books and begin your journey and have great success.